Hi friends. You ever get homesick? You ever see that they're making a movie in your hometown and you think, well, that never fucking happens. I gotta see what's going on here. Welcome back to Beauty and Bee Movies with me, Pale Kale. Today we are gonna be talking about the 2022 film Deer Camp 86. You ever heard of it? I hadn't. I saw it come up on Prime Video and I noticed in the description that it said it took place in Northern Michigan, which, goinky dink, that's where I'm from. So I thought, who better to review this movie than me? Probably a lot of people, but I'm still gonna do it. Again, like I said, this movie takes place in Northern Michigan, specifically around the Ludington area. This is the shape of the lower peninsula of Michigan. Ludington, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below because I definitely could be. Ludington is right over here, right on the coast of Lake Michigan. I am from Wexford County, let's just call it that, because the actual town is so small, you probably never heard of it, which is like right over here, I believe, a little bit north of Ludington. So I'm actually from north of where this movie was shot, but it's, you know, it's in the general area. I wanted to talk about it. So let's turn back time a little. The year 1986. The setting, beautiful Northern Michigan in the fall season. And the plot is 6 out-of-towners, a couple of Detroit tourists are heading up north to partake in the annual deer hunting season in Northern Michigan. And plot twist, the hunters become the hunted. After a tragic event happens, they are pursued by a creature. Let's just say that. So if you are interested in hearing me talk about this film and interested in seeing me create this kind of, I was inspired by the foliage up north in the fall, how the leaves kind of change and their beautiful golden autumnal loveliness, if you will. I was very inspired by that, so that's kind of what the eyes are giving today. If you'd like to see me create this beautiful autumnal look, even though it is the middle of spring at time of filming, and you'd like to hear me talk about Deer Camp 86, keep on watching. Just a fair warning here too, there is some animal violence in this film. I know Clover, she's not amused by that. I know I am a dirty little liar and a hypocrite because I have said multiple times I don't review movies where there's animal death. There is some animal death in this movie. It wasn't really gory and it just didn't seem realistic, and maybe I'm just desensitized to like hunting stuff because, you know, of where I come from. But listen, this is not a usual thing. So if you can't handle like animal violence, totally understand. Me neither. Typically, you feel free to skip this one, but otherwise, stay tuned to hear me talk about Deer Camp 86 and do a little magic on my face. I'm back again.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Deer Camp 86. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna use this Milani Skin Quench primer. I don't know if I've ever used this on the channel, but this is quickly becoming my favorite primer. It's really hydrating, but it's not sticky or tacky like the Hydro Grip or Power Grip or anything like that. This one is just like, it's literally basically just lotion.
It feels so nice. Hyaluronic acid. It's nice to put that in. Plus, vibes. The nice drink of water for skin.
Skin is your largest organ. You want to take care of it. Anyway, our film begins with 6 big city boys heading up north to Northern Michigan to partake in deer hunting season. I'm gonna say it like a million times while I'm reviewing this, but this felt so familiar. It felt so like hometown, okey pokey smoky, backwoods, podunk. Yeah, it felt so familiar to me. They stop at a bar that looks eerily similar to one of the bars from my hometown. It's called the Shamrock. It might have just been the Clovers on the bar too. Like, I should ask an expert one second. Clover, what do you think? Do you think it was just the Clovers on the bar that look like the Shamrock? Or do you think it's like the general vibe? She's heavy. Oh. I'm sorry. She does not appreciate being summoned, but I had to ask an expert. A Clover expert. So we meet our guys. We've got Buck, who is a beer-loving buffoon, Carlos, a mysterious war vet who talks quite extensively about his war experience.
What the hell, Carlos?
Oh, I've been there already. It's called Beirut.
We got Ep, he's the token nerd character, very like asthma kid coded, like, hey guys, wait for me, my inhaler. We've also got Wes, he's like our main squeeze, heartthrob, you know, 80s lover boy, whatever. We've got Simon, he's kind of like, he seems like kind of like the voice of reason of the group. He's very like level-headed. And then we've got JB, who owns a truck.
Yeah, this pussy almost puked in my brand new truck.
It's pretty much his only personality trait for 90% of this movie is that he owns a truck. So Buck decides, remember Buck is like the beer-loving buffoon. He decides that his place of choice to get shit-faced is gonna be the ye old watering hole. Against Wes's wishes, he just wants to go to camp. He's like, dude, I don't want to get drunk. I'm sad. My girlfriend broke up with me. It's just like this whole thing. It's kind of a boring subplot of this movie that Wes is like brokenhearted or something. They don't really talk about it a ton, but I feel like that's pretty realistic, right? Like when men get out of relationships, do they sit around and talk about it or do they get drunk about it? I don't know. Maybe that's a stereotype, but that's probably kind of realistic. Using that new Rare Beauty foundation. I'm not exactly a stan of Rare Beauty. Like, I like some of their stuff for sure. I've used almost every product they've ever come out with just because when I worked at Sephora, I got tons of free Rare Beauty makeup. And I will say this new foundation is really fucking nice. The best part of waking up is foundation on your face. I don't know. I was trying to do the Folgers thing. Remember that Folgers commercial about the brother and sister that like look like they're gonna fuck? You're my present this year.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
Girl, don't be that horny for your brother. Like, what the fuck's going on there? It has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, so Buck decides they're gonna hang out there. He's got to see a bar about a beer.
The buck stops here.
Come on, let's get to camp before dark, Buck.
Tough titties, my liver's itching.
Charming guy. So speaking of charming guys, our boys here run into a bunch of racist rednecks led by this guy. His name's Buford. That seems like that name went out of fashion in like 1932, but what do I fucking know? I mean, the movie takes place in 86, but like, were people named Buford in 1986? I don't know about that. So Buford and Wes, remember he's our like main character who just got dumped. They kind of get into it over some racist comments that Buford makes towards Star.
Is that your stage name?
No, they just give all you native girls funny names, don't they?
Star is the Native American bartender at this, you know, little watering hole that they stopped at. She's super cool, kind of a badass. She's kind of like one of the guys, but not in a cringe way. She's just a very likable character. So Wes immediately kind of takes a liking to her. He's like, hey, I like the way you move. Buford doesn't like this.
Give me another sassy mouth.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Wes defends her, which is like, you know, just kind of establishes that he's like the good guy in all of this, which is actually very important to this story. Also, this is just worth noting. It doesn't matter or mean anything to the story, but Ep takes a cigarette from a stranger and lights the wrong end of it. Is it important? Not even a little bit. Drinking an Illusionist. Strawberry Sunrise. I think it's like an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I would say 8.5 out of 10. I almost am digging this one a little more than the Cherry Slush, and that one used to be like right up there for me. I mean, Pink Slush is, you know, it's my favorite, but actually, my 100% favorite is that Cherry Bomb one. I have found it literally like twice. I found it once and then someone else found one and gave it to me once too. I cannot find Cherry Bomb Illusionist to save my life. I gotta move on, but I just can't.
All around me are familiar faces.
So Star, our bartender, she kind of makes a toast to all the bar patrons, inviting them to deer camp and letting them know, hey, these are the rules for deer hunting up north. 1,
Respect the great spirit and harvest only what you need.
for someone who grew up around this environment, I really don't know much about hunting. I really don't know much about hunting. Yeah, I'm kind of a disgrace to my community.
2nd, honor the deer. Make it a merciful kill.
Don't stick a bomb up a deer's ass, I guess. I don't know. Just shoot it in the heart or the head. So yeah, she kind of just gives this toast to all the patrons. She tells them what the rules are. They all, you know, clink, skull, and take the shot or whatever. It's a feel-good time. I can listen to them talk about it, and I'm pretty desensitized to it, I think, because of growing up around hunting and all of those kind of like outdoor activities. Northern Michigan is really pretty well known for. My damage is that I can listen to all that and kind of be desensitized, but if I actually saw a real life deer get killed, I would be in shambles. I would be devastated. And my dad is rolling in his grave right now. Speaking of my dad.
What the fuck are you dick sticks looking at?
Oh, a bar fight. How original.
Our boys get into a fight with the racist rednecks. Buford's little merry band of assholes. They get into a fight. Carlos is straight up breaking fingies over here. Carlos's character, like, I don't know how to explain it, but he's so intense with everything he says. He's like,
when you pulled the trigger this season, it could have been worse.
Carlos, take it down like 3 levels. You're being really intense right now, man. All the other guys are kind of like jovial, hanging out, friends, hunting, and he's just like, the war changed him. Let's just put it that way. So Buford almost takes the fight to a whole nother level. Like, he shows up, I think he's gonna like stab Wes in the back, which is like a bitch move. He almost takes it to a whole nother level, but then Star gets up behind him with a gun and it's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, not in my bar. Looks like she was almost a shooting star.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Don't get too attached to Star though, guys, because the next scene, she walks outside, she's taking out the trash, you know, she's trying to do her job, and Star gets murdered. I was bummed to see this. I thought she was gonna be a way bigger character in this movie because they really focused on her, like, little flirty banter with her and Wes, and they had her like make that speech and everything. So I was kind of surprised by this, actually. I was like, fuck, dude, she's like the best character so far, and they killed her off. It was fucked up. But she gets murdered by an unseen assailant. Star, you were a real one, and I was sad to see you go so early. That doesn't always happen on this channel. I find a lot of times when characters die, like, they're not super likable, so it's kind of a bummer when someone who's quickly like a likable character dies. Anyway, total bummer about Star dying early. It should have been Bumford. Remember him? Buford? Yeah, he's a Bumford.
Let's get the hell out of here, Buford. Of course your name is Buford. I bet all you fuckers are named Buford.
Anyway, Ep kind of sees this at one point. Like, he's walking out of the bar. I don't believe that he sees who it is, but he does see that Star's getting attacked, and then he just, like, does nothing. Thanks, Ep. You were really useful. I need to go smoke another cigarette backwards, you fucking degenerate. Not knowing that Star was just murdered, Wes leaves a note for her telling her, like, hey, I'm gonna come back for you. Like, because she gave them, I guess she gave them, like, directions to the cabin they're supposed to go to. They had really shitty directions, and she kind of explains it a little bit. I was listening in at this part because I wanted to know if it was anywhere that sounded familiar to me. It wasn't. To be fair, this movie was filmed, it's more so near Ludington, which is actually, I know that that's considered like up north, I guess, for some people. I'm from even further north than that, so I'm not trying to like one up them with my northernness, but this movie was filmed a little south of where I'm actually from. But anyway, it's super not important or interesting to anyone. So anyway, Wes leaves Star this note saying, hey, thank you, I'm gonna come back and visit you or whatever, because, you know, he likes her and he doesn't know she's dead. So I just gotta say this while I'm here, because I got tripped up on it. That is the best handwriting I've ever seen a man have in my 28 years of existence. I'm not trying to be sexist or like an asshole or anything. I know that men can have good handwriting. I've never seen like exceptionally beautiful handwriting from a guy, and the handwriting in this note, Wes, great job. Your print is better than mine. It's beautiful. Anyway, I just had to make note of that. Funny, because it's a note. Haha, hee hee. I'm hilarious. So the boys decide to jump in their truck after a night of drinking. Always a good idea. So they roll up on the camp. Buck says something that made me go, huh? I didn't notice it until my second time watching this movie. The first time I was watching it, I guess I was just like not super paying attention to everything Buck said, because he does talk quite a bit. He's like definitely the comic relief or comedic relief in the movie. Like, he wants to party till his panties fall off. But he said something that really alarmed me. He said that his record consumption for beers is 48 beers in 24 hours. 48 beers in 24 hours. Listen, there's no way. You know what? The boys up north, they can drink. I totally get that. It's realistic that drinking problems, especially in small rural areas, very common. I get that. I grew up around a lot of alcoholics. I was literally surrounded by alcoholics. I've actually struggled a lot with alcohol. I get it. I understand. But 48 beers in 24 hours, that's 2 beers an hour, and without sleeping. I don't know if he's going to the bathroom, he's sitting on the toilet, he's got a fucking Budweiser, I don't know. But that's crazy. So I did a little Google on the internet machine. I'm gonna pull my notes into this and I'm gonna tell you what I found. So this is what Google has to say about drinking 48 beers in 24 hours. This is important. Drinking 48 beers in 24 hours is highly unlikely and dangerous, making it medically improbable to survive without extreme life-threatening complications. This level of consumption is over 10 times the recommended daily limit and is a fatal amount of alcohol, likely causing alcohol poisoning, coma, or respiratory failure. And he could just be lying to like impress his friends, sure. But the likelihood of this man, even though he's a big guy, you know, he likes to drink, I get it, the likelihood is very slim. And before you come at me, I know improbable is not impossible, it's possible, but highly unlikely. I just had to put that in here. Oh, by the way, I also want to mention that I did ask my mom as well about this because she's seen some shit and she agreed with me. She doubts it. Actually, at first she told me to Google it, which thanks mom, I did. But she said, I doubt it. Highly unlikely, I think she said. So thank you, Sandy, for your insight, because I agree. I think that it's highly unlikely that this dude would still be living. But anyway, so the boys roll up to the camp. Carlos kind of comments on their new digs.
Ain't this place the shit, Carlos?
Good place for killing.
Damn, Carlos, you want to take it down a notch? We get it. You're surly and irascible and frankly a little scary. Oh, I also want to add here that I really thought Carlos was kind of cute because, you know, that's my damage. I thought he was kind of cute until this scene because I realized that he's got a big old gullet full of chew, like chewing tobacco, which is disgusting. It's so fucking gross. Ugh. And then, Ep takes a big old handful of it too.
A little dip for the little dip. There you go. Oh, there you go, buddy. Right in the lip.
How about no? Disgusting. Ugh. I'm gonna be using this really old palette today. It was given to me. It's this Melt Vida palette. It is beautiful. I feel like Melt doesn't do as many eyeshadow palettes anymore. Or am I crazy? They do a lot of the like little mini ones, but look at this. Beautiful. The look is going to be inspired by the foliage of up north, I think. Like you'll see a lot of beautiful shots in this movie of like the trees changing colors. That is one thing I miss about living up north is like Northern Michigan in the fall. That is so, so beautiful. And you really don't appreciate it till you're gone, I guess. So yeah, the boys in blue, they find Star's body the next day. And our sheriff here, he's kind of the only cop that really is super important in this movie, but he kind of lets us know that there is a recurring theme of Native American women going missing or being murdered in this movie, and every time something like that happens, a group of hunters gets killed in a bear attack is what they are calling it, but it's a little suspicious. It's just very interesting, the timing of things, you know. These women go missing and then all these deer hunters get murdered, so something kind of creepy is going on around here. I'm back and my eyes are very boom in your face. It looks more, this shade looks very orange in the pan, but on me it's turning super yellow, which I don't hate. Yellow is my favorite color, which people are always shocked by, but I love yellow. It's happy, it's beautiful, and I love lemons and lemon flavored things. I love lemons, sure. Yeah, so the guys go out hunting the next day, you know, it's kind of a long, drawn-out scene that's not really that important. The cop, he rolls up on them and decides to kind of let them know about Star's death and kind of inquire about, like, their whereabouts last night. Like, do they know anything about it? Wes is obviously devastated. I don't know if he's just like clinging or what, but he really, really liked her, like immediately kind of like latched onto her. So he's upset. The other guys are kind of like, dude, go talk to these racist rednecks that we got in a fight with because they were very violent. But apparently the racist rednecks told the cop the same thing. Go talk to these like out-of-towners, these tourists, if you will. You know that meme of Spider-Man where there's like 3 Spider-Mans and they're all pointing at each other? It's very that. The cop also somehow has the note that Wes wrote Star. Remember the note with the beautiful penmanship? Well, he has that note and Wes signed it. So the cop hears one of the guys call Wes by his name and he's like, oh, you're Wes? Well, actually I have your note right here with your beautiful penmanship. By the way, I love this, love what you have going on, but you're a suspect now. It's pretty clear to us as the viewers that Wes didn't do it. Like he he really liked this girl. You could tell he kind of like hasn't shut up about her since he met her, you know, very love at first sight. He's probably like a Cancer or something. He's definitely a water sign. Oh, I thought it was weird. I didn't really know how the cop knew where to find them. You know, maybe he just like followed their tire tracks or something. I know that sounds crazy, but growing up in a rural area, like I lived on a road where so few cars passed by that if a car was coming down the road, you looked out the window to see who it was. And more than likely, you already knew the person. This is possible. Maybe he just like went by tire tracks. I don't know. Somehow he knew where to find them. So isn't that convenient? This orange is beautiful. Wow. What a pretty color. The guys decide that they're gonna toast to Star with some unspecified liquor from 48 Beers Bucks collection.
There you go.
Oh. What is that?
I don't know. Uncle made it. Kicks though, don't it?
And then they go skeet shooting, I guess. Is that what this is? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're kind of like shooting their guns or whatever. And they spot a figure across the way. It's very skeletal. It looks like a deer skeleton, but like it just looks like some kind of being with like antlers. It's very ominous. And then Buck shoots a crow for like no reason. He's like, oh, it's just practice. And if you remember from the top of the film, Star said, one of the rules is you don't kill anything that you're not gonna use. You're supposed to respect the land. You're not out here killing crows for no reason. But Buck doesn't care. He's here for a drunk time, not a long time.
Hey, enjoy the only reach around you're ever gonna get.
So I'm gonna skip over the details of this next scene because I have to, because of me as a person. But all you need to know is Carlos also kills something. He kills a deer, and it is in a way that is not merciful. And again, the other rule was don't stick a bomb up a deer's ass. He kills the deer in a way that is pretty brutal. I had to look away. To be fair, there's a really, really low amount of like gore in this movie. Like there's really not much like blood and guts. There's a little bit, but we'll get to the scene that's the most like graphic, and spoiler alert, but it is not, has nothing to do with the hunting. The hunting is relatively tame, I would say, in this movie, actually, for this movie being about hunting. Let's see if we can catch up with the boys and see how they're doing.
Beer, 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 beer. Let's go out the door.
Alrighty then. I want to talk about these shadows really quick. These are the little Wet n Wild, they're called Chameleon Chrome shadows. I know I talked about this one in my little like short video about my must-see B movies. This is another one that I bought, this green one. I got it off of Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere in stores. This one right here is called Comet Couture. You can't really tell on screen, but it does have a beautiful shift to it. Fucking beautiful, beautiful. It really just looks gold, but it has a green shift to it. And then the green one here, this one is called Meteor Muse. Meteor Muse, I don't know. Put that one right there. Oh, it's a beautiful green. It has a blue shift. You really cannot see the shift on these bad boys, but I wish you could. But yeah, I wanted to use these because they're beautiful and because, I don't know, again, I'm kind of inspired by the foliage and they remind me of the leaves turning different colors. So also they're like $7. $7 for these fucking shadows is crazy. I think this is probably the best drugstore shadow formula I've ever used. It is so beautiful. You'll really see the pigment here. I'm just gonna like pop it right on my eye. Not even using the NYX glitter primer. I'm just going in with this because it does not need it. Look at how beautiful that is. Holy shit. Simply beautiful. Wow. I'm also gonna go in with the green, and I'm just gonna go really, really tight into my inner corner with the green. Kind of like right here. Oh, pretty. Just beautiful. Wow. Wow. It's really pretty. So the boys party till their panties fall off, and then later that night, while our camo-clad friends are just snoozing Susans in their beds. Wes gets awoken by Simon Says game that he's been playing with throughout the movie that I think I forgot to mention. Oopsies. This was kind of like reminded us that this movie takes place in the 80s. It's that little like, it was a big game in the 80s. Simon's obsessed with it. I thought that naming him Simon was a little like on the nose. Like, we get it, he likes this game, but do we have to name him after the game? Oh, he's Simon, so he likes the game Simon Says. That'd be like naming Buck, like, beer or liver failure.
My liver's itching.
It's a little on the nose, it's a little easy, but anyway, that's besides the point. I'm going off on a lot of tangents today, I'm aware. So, his game starts going off out of nowhere.
Simon, turn that thing off.
A little bit of ooky spooky paranormal shit going on here. So equally spooky, as the spirit says, or Simon says, Ep gets awoken by a deer tick embedded in his nether regions.
It looks like hairy bat wings.
Yeah, anyone who is watching this that has testicles, you could probably skip this scene. It's pretty gross, though I will say Ep's boys are still intact at the end of the scene. I fully thought that he was gonna get like stabbed in the balls or something. Like, I really thought he was a goner as far as, you know, his boys were concerned, but they're fine. It's just a very tense scene where Carlos extracts the tick from Ep's sack. A little gross. I actually thought this was probably the most like graphic scene of the film. That was the scene I was mentioning earlier when I said spoiler alert. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off. I'm dying. So yeah, don't worry about the whole ball scene. Ringo Starr is totally fine. I say Ringo Starr because Ep looks like somebody who would be a lefty playing a right-handed drum kit. Beatles facts. So after the tick eviction, or the attiction, as you could call it, Carlos crashes out because somebody stole his dead deer that was hanging from a tree. Don't you hate when that happens? So the deer carcass is gone. They try to track down the carcass thieves, and they run into that creature from earlier. They get another glimpse at it, the one that had like the antlers or whatever. They get a little glimpse at it, and this was at the point in the movie where I uttered the 5 little words that I so often say while reviewing movies on this very channel. It's always some cult shit. It always comes back to cults, doesn't it? Like, I feel like literally every film I watch, every horror movie I watch, there's some kind of fucking witchy cult shit going on. Lucky for them, JB, remember him, the one with the truck? And that's it. He's been recording everything on his little camcorder, their little antics or whatever, their backwoods boys bullshit. So he got the creature, let's call it, on tape. And he shows the other guys, like, guys, I got it on tape. We can, like, take a look at it. So all the boys are kind of looking in the camcorder to see what's going on. Simon, remember, he's the one who's, like, named after the game that he likes. He takes one fucking look in there and he straight up, nope. He does what we wish every horror movie character would do when we're watching the movie and we're like, get out of there, get out of there. He gets the fuck out of it. He pieces the fuck out. He's like, I'm fucking leaving. I don't know what that thing is. It's not human, and it's not right, and it's not okay.
But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
So he fucking books it. He's like, I'm leaving. He tries to get Wes to come with him. Wes is like, no, I'm staying here. Like, pretty sure that animal is the one that killed Star. He's like decided that this creature definitely murdered Star, you know, with no evidence. And he's sticking around. He wants revenge. I don't know. They met once. I feel like the amount of time he spends worrying about her and like wanting vengeance for her is disproportionate to how long they actually like spoke to each other, but whatever. So yeah, Simon takes off. He's like, nope, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He pieces out, says this.
I'm going back to Detroit, where it's safe.
Well, it was 1986. After Simon says bye-bye, Carlos gets shot with an arrow, like from afar. Arrow to the shoulder. The boys take him into the cabin, and Carlos is like, you can't pull it out, you gotta push it through. Ugh. Apparently, if you pull an arrow out, like, the back part of it will, like, tear into other things, I guess. I don't know. He kind of, like, briefly explains it, but he's like, push it through. So they push the arrow through his shoulder. I thought this was kind of brutal. Again, not a ton of gore, though. You don't really see, like, a lot of it, but the idea of it was stomach turning. So I thought that was kind of a fun element, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but horror movies, you know? I mean, I thought getting my nips pierced was bad. Like, Carlos is a badass. Like, you can say what you want about him. He's definitely problematic. He's kind of like...
I dropped her on the spot.
Terrifying, but he's a badass. He takes it like a champ. The boys take off because they're under attack, you know, this creature's coming after them. So the boys decide to hole up in the cabin because, you know, they're getting attacked. The boys take off, right? They're having a rough day. They're getting shot at. The bear trap that they had on the wall got stolen. Their pets' heads are falling off. They're going through a lot. They take off running. They go into the woods. Ep kind of finally like stands up to the other guys because I don't think I've mentioned it, but they've been ragging on him. You know, he's the nerd, the asthma kid. He's the one that gets bullied, basically. He finally stands up to Buck and Carlos, who have been kind of the worst to him, I would say. And then just as he is about to tell the group, like, hey, I saw Star getting attacked, because he hasn't told them. They don't know that he saw her getting attacked. Again, I don't think he saw the assailant, but he did see her struggling and didn't say anything or do anything or help. He's about to tell them, but he straight up gets snatched. He gets pulled away by an unseen force, and the guys take off running after him. They're like, oh my God, Ep, like, what the fuck? They do find him, and it ain't pretty. I told you, man. Cult shit. Always comes back to fucking cults. So Ep has been gutted, literally, not like emotionally, like he's not like sitting in a bathtub with a bunch of bath salts, eating a pint of chubby hubby and a mess. He's actually been gutted, like physically gutted. Guts are in a steaming pile on the ground. So when I write my notes, sometimes I like to partake in alcohol. And I was having, you know, a lovely little carb list while I was watching this because skinny. In my notes after F gets gutted, I just wrote, I hate Mondays. I don't know why. It's like a fucking Garfield comment. I hate Monday. Would you just hate when you get gutted? Oh, Mondays. Anyway, Ep has gone to be with the angels. He's dead. Goodbye, Ep. In the arms of the angel. So the boys finally get a decent look at this creature that's been wrecking their shit. And to be honest with you, I found this to be super anticlimactic. It's clearly just like a human wearing a deer head, like a deer skull. I don't know. I just kind of thought it would be something a little bit more ooky spooky. But I mean, it is fucking shit up. Like it flips a car. Remember JB's truck, his shit box? Yeah, no match for this little demon thing. Flips the car. It's definitely got like paranormal abilities, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely magical in some way. I really thought this movie was gonna be more like cryptid coded, or like it was gonna have some kind of creature that was more animalistic, I guess. I mean, to be honest with you, I really thought this movie was gonna have like a Dogman element because it takes place in Northern Michigan. Now, if you're not from Northern Michigan and you're unfamiliar with the Dogman is a Northern Michigan legend about essentially exactly what it sounds like. He's basically a fucking werewolf. I don't see what the real difference is, but it's basically a dog that walks on his hind legs. He has like a human torso, but a dog head, and he walks on his hind legs. He's like 7 feet tall. It's this like legend that basically this creature originates in Wexford County, which is where I'm from, actually, originally. He just like murders people, and he's scary, and he comes around every 7th year. Not every 7 years, but every 10 years, with the year ending in 7. So like 1977, 87, which again, this movie's 86, so it wouldn't make sense if it's the Dogman anyway, but they could have easily made it Deer Camp 87 and then just had the D-Man in it. I know my sister's gonna hate this part of the video because she's terrified of the Dogman. So Lexi, I'm sorry, I had to mention it. I really thought this movie was gonna have something to do with the Dogman, and I think they missed an opportunity, frankly. It would have made sense. But anyway, I digress. I thought this was going to be kind of more of like an animalistic type thing, but it's clearly just like a person wearing a deer carcass head. So missed opportunity in my book. Yeah, so the boys decided they're going to set a trap. Carlos kind of comes up with the idea because remember he was in like Nam or whatever. Or no, he was in Lebanon. That's not in Vietnam. I know they're separate countries, but would that be the Vietnam War? Does not matter. Anyway, Carlos comes up with the idea. He's like, let's set a trap for this motherfucker and whatever it is, creature thing.
It's a fucking forest demon.
Whoa, just take it easy, man. Whatever you say, Buck.
This is the part where we all say something meaningful before we die. Because if I'm being honest, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear it, and it would please me greatly if you would shut the fuck up.
You said it, not me. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Okay. As the guys are kind of hanging out there waiting for the forest demon to come in and go into the trap, the forest demon shows up and he straight up murders Carlos. Right in the back of the orange beanie, just tomahawk to the back of the head. And Wes notices something here. The tomahawk that Carlos is murdered with has Star's necklace on it that she was wearing earlier. He like commented, I don't think I mentioned it, but he commented on her necklace and was like, oh, that's cool. He notices that the tomahawk has her necklace on it. So what's it going on? Anyway, the trap doesn't work on the forest demon, and our three guys left. Remember, we got Buck, the beer bandit, Wes, who's like our leading man, and JB, who owns a truck. Don't forget, they're taking off into the woods. I think Buck even says, you don't have to be the fastest guy, you just have to be faster than the slowest guy. I mean, it's true, but damn, that's cold. So they take off into the forest. They're like, we're gonna run from this thing. You know, running from a demon always works. Always a good course of action, as we all know. They take off into the woods. JB punches Buck in the face so that he can get away from the forest demon. A real bitch move, if you ask me.
No fucking shit, man! That's for Leslie! JB, you traitorous fuck!
Buck, you and I, for once, are in complete agreement, my Budweiser guzzling friend. That is a bitch move. And I guess it sucks to suck, or you could say it bucks to buck. Because Buck dies here. I was kind of bummed to see that just because he was kind of funny. I don't know. So the demon gets Buck. He also gets killed with that tomahawk that Carlos got killed with. And there's a really cool shot of Buck getting like pulled into the earth here. And don't worry, he remembers his can of Skull or off-brand Skull. Yeah, I thought it was a cool shot. It's fun and different. I don't know. This blush is beautiful. I don't use it that often, but when I do, I'm like, this is fucking cunty. I love it. I don't know why I never use it. It's brown, and I don't wear a lot of brown in general, I feel. This is the Danessa Myricks. I know I always talk about these, but this is their cream blush in the shade Spiced Latte. It is the most beautiful, like, warm brown color. I wanted the eyes to be the focus. I know, shocker, me. But I wanted the eyes to be the focus, and I wanted the blush to be a little bit more, like, backseat. Ooh. Buck gets murdered by the forest demon spirit, the tree man. This is a deep cut if you have watched my videos from the beginning, which by the way, if you have, thank you. Do you remember Slumber Party Massacre 2? The Dreamin'? Remember he was kind of like this dream demon, very Freddy Krueger adjacent. Well, anyway, now we got a Treeman, not a Dreamin', a Treeman. So the Treeman murders Buck, and Wes, again, like I said earlier, he's like convinced that this Treeman is the reason why Star's dead. He's like, this thing killed Star, and him and JB, they're the only survivors left, right? So they're taken off on foot. They come to kind of like this lake, and there's conveniently a boat there. They jump into this boat, and Wes is like, I'm gonna get us across the shore and get us away from the Treeman. If a Treeman's coming after you, like, how do you really escape that? I don't know. I don't know if you can, but the boys are hopeful. So they jump into the boat, and they're paddling across the water, and the Treeman decides to rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over. But he does tip the boat over. Well, he doesn't exactly do that. He just snatches Wes. The Treeman snatches Wes into the murky waters, and JB, being the little bitch that he is, leaves him behind. I don't know what JB stands for, but if I had to guess, it's probably just a bitch, because he is just a little bitch. He leaves his friends behind. And you know what? I know what you're thinking. Kale, there's a Treeman coming after you, shaking the boat, snatches your friend, pulls him into the water. You would have done the same thing. You would have left. You always say, oh, I would leave, I would run. And you know what? You're right. I would. I would paddle across and save myself, but I don't feel good about it. So JB rows to shore. You know, he's like the last kind of guy standing alone, truckless, devastated. And the treeman comes up on shore to kill him because obviously, you know, it's a treeman, it's not dead. And we finally get to see what the treeman looks like underneath this skull mask, because obviously we've known, you know, it's like basically a person wearing a skull mask. And the treeman reveals its face, and it's Star, the dead bartender. She's still living? But actually no, Star can't be alive, because as we quickly learn in a flashback, JB, our truck-owning friend, is the one who killed Star. I was actually really shocked by this. I thought this was a good reveal because I kept forgetting he was there. Like, they really don't highlight his character at all. They don't focus on him. They don't show him like being a huge asshole or anything. Not really. Like, they really focused a lot more on like Buck and Carlos. Those two were really like very heavy focus on them. And then Wes, because, you know, he's like the good guy or whatever. JB was very much in the background, and you kind of forget he's there, but he is the one who killed Star. So I thought this was a good reveal. They show us in a flashback that JB snuck outside, killed Star, busted the windows out of his own truck. You know his truck, remember? So he busted out the window of his truck to frame the rednecks from earlier. They keep calling them hill jacks throughout the movie, which I've never heard that phrase, but sure. He wanted to frame them so that when the cops found Star's body, they would assume it was the rednecks who busted out the windows of JB's truck, trying to cover his own ass, just a bitch. And he acted like he was passed out on the toilet.
Who's in there? JB. Shit.
Just a bitch. It's revealed pretty quickly that JB is a piece of shit, which we kind of were learning, right? I mean, he abandoned both of his friends in their 11th hour there, but the treeman is not having it. The treeman's basically like a shape-shifting demon, honestly. Or not even, I wouldn't even say a demon. Treeman's probably not a good way to describe this thing because it's not really a demon. It's just a vengeful spirit that is coming after people who are pieces of shit, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at you, treeman. I think I like the word treeman, so I'm gonna keep calling it the treeman, but it's not really a demon. Anyway, stabs JB right in the temple. It says, you know what? You did this to me. I'm doing it to you. I'm rocking your shit. You'll take no more. And I was happy to see it. Like, good riddance. You're a piece of shit. Bye. Like, you don't just fucking murder Star and get away with it, you sick idiot. So the treeman gets JB, and then Wes comes out of the water. He's still alive, which, not surprising. You know, he's clearly kind of like our final girl or whatever. Final girl, but a man. Anyway, he comes out of the water. The treeman kind of comes after him, but then realizes that Wes is different. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Wes isn't like other guys. He doesn't drink 48 beers in 24 hours and talk about Lebanon and have a tick burrowing in his ball sack. He's got heart. So Wes is spared. The treeman's like, you know what? Actually, I think you're kind of a good dude. She doesn't say that, but it just shows the treeman like touch his heart, and he's just kind of standing there, and it's kind of this little like moment. It's just implied that Wes is spared because he didn't really do anything wrong. If you remember, all the other guys kind of did something wrong. Like Ep saw Star get murdered, didn't do anything, just kind of sat there smoking a cigarette the wrong way. Buck killed that crow. Can't do that. Now he has to eat crow. Carlos went hog wild and murdered that deer in a really crazy way. JB was a sick piece of shit. You get it. Like, they all did something wrong. Wes didn't ever really do anything wrong. He was actually kind of the one being like, you guys are fucked up. So he gets spared. The treeman disappears back into the wilderness, and Wes is spared. He goes kind of wandering through the woods, and the next day he is picked up by the sheriff. Remember him? Yeah, the sheriff is still around. He picks Wes up, and guess who is in the sheriff's backseat of his car? Simon. Remember Simon, the one who like left? He noped his way out of there and was like, I'm not fucking doing this. And has been kind of MIA for the last like quarter of the movie or half of the movie. Well, he's alive, which I was happy about. I liked Simon. I thought he was actually very smart. I would have done the same thing. I would have seen that thing and been like, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. So good for you, Simon. So he lived, and I guess while his friends were all like getting murdered in the woods, he was just kind of wandering around lost. Because again, same thing with Simon. He never did anything shady. Like I said in the beginning, he was kind of the voice of reason. He doesn't have a ton of lines, but like, you can tell he's the level-headed one, right? So he didn't really do anything wrong, so he also gets to live, which I love. Love that for him. So while all his friends were being murdered, he was just wandering around in the woods. So in life, be a Simon. Do what Simon says. So at this point too, the sheriff also kind of implies that he like knows about the treeman. Like he kind of knows about like the revenge treeman. He doesn't call it that.
Yo, what the fuck was that thing?
It was, man,
A bear.
It's always in there.
Weird way to pronounce Treeman, but tomato. Anyway, the film flashes forward to Deer Camp 2024, which I found really odd because this movie came out in 2022. So why was it 2024? Why wouldn't it be 2022 or 2026? Because then it's 40 years later. That's crazy that the 80s were 40 years ago. Whatever. I guess I just don't get why you wouldn't flash forward to Deer Camp 2026. Like, it would make sense if this movie came out in 2024, but it didn't. It came out in 2022. So math ain't mathing. I don't get it. Maybe I missed something. But we got our new little crew of hunters rolling up to the same bar from the top of the film. Remember the one with the clovers on it, or shamrocks, whatever. They roll up and they want to stop for a little drinky before they go out and, you know, shoot bear or deer, whatever. The guys roll up. It's kind of just this little crew of like modern day versions of tourists. They come across the bar and they come across a familiar face.
Let me get 4 low-cal shots and 4 of those hard seltzers.
Oh, hey, boys.
Check out Pocahontas.
Ew, racist, but Pocahontas is Star, the bartender that got murdered. Remember her? The one who's like the treeman or whatever. And she kind of like turns around like very like, what'll it be, boys? And it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's very Jack Torrance, you've always been the caretaker. It's very that coded. So I guess Star is like the shape-shifting tree demon. I don't know. They don't really explain it, but the movie ends. It's kind of like a, ooh, like they're next type of thing. So that, my friends, is Deer Camp 86. What do we think? Now, I gotta say, I know I'm biased. I know this movie was kind of like, it was very nostalgic for me, clearly, but I liked this. It could have used a lot more horror. Like, we really could have amped up the horror elements of this film, but I did like it. It made me want to go back to my old local stomping grounds and order a sticky burger from my favorite dive bar. And before you sick bastards get any ideas, a sticky burger is a hamburger with peanut butter on it and barbecue sauce. Don't knock it till you try it. It is fucking delicious. And usually it's got like bacon. Oh, so good. My dad and I used to frequent a local bar and get a sticky burger together. Yeah, this movie had a lot of heart. I liked the idea of the revenge element with it too. About like, oh, you're gonna take our girls, well, we're gonna fucking come and get you. Like, I liked that part of it. I did think they missed a huge opportunity with the treeman to make it like a cryptid. I think if it was the Dogman, it would have been so cool. But I guess that takes away from it being like the girls coming back and murdering the guys who like are evil or whatever. I get that. But I don't know. I think it would have been a little bit spookier if it was like a cryptid, or even if they just made it look even remotely scary. It just like, it was definitely like a spirit. So it had like this kind of like weird like leaves, and like there's this kind of like fuzziness to the creature when it moves. I get that it's meant to be kind of like almost a little bit paranormal, but I don't know. Like, is it a ghost? Is it a spirit? It just wasn't really like explained. And I guess that's part of it. I don't know. I just feel like there was a missed opportunity with scares here. Like, the scariest scene in a movie shouldn't be a tick getting stuck in a guy's balls. For it being a horror movie, it leaned into comedy a little more, like a skosh more than I prefer. We all know I love that campy 80s horror, but this one was a little too much comedy, not enough horror. There was barely any gore, which is weird for a hunting movie. Like, they really could have leaned in. It could have been a little more gray, to be honest with you. The only scene that really made me squirm was the addiction scene. Other than that, it was pretty tame. I will say I liked the rapport between the guys. They felt very bro-y. It felt very real. I thought the acting was like, it was fine, whatever. It was kind of like jokey, haha, hee-hee, haha time. But it was fine. I thought Buck's character was kind of fun, even though he was like a complete stereotype. It was kind of fun. I didn't hate this. I thought it was a fun watch. It's something like you could turn it on with your friends, especially if you're from Northern Michigan. This is a big deal for us, you know? Nothing ever happens up there. I mean, people like go to the Cherry Festival and like ride snowmobiles, and that's pretty much it. So if you're from Northern Michigan, highly recommend watching this. It's worth a watch. It was nostalgic for me. I really loved seeing like some of the like outdoor shots and stuff. It felt like home. If you're like a horror fan, I don't know how much you're gonna really like find value in this. I did think the whole revenge element of it was fun, but I'll give it a 3 pumpkins. I'll give it 3 pumpkins. Also felt like they totally could have leaned into the 80s-ness more. Like, I kept forgetting this was in the 80s. I know I always say that because I'm me and the 80s are like my favorite decade, but they could have leaned into it a little more. That's all I'm saying. The main group that's gonna enjoy this are Northern Michiganders. So, you know, go Lions. Go drink a pop and watch the leaves change, you hillbillies. Anyway, that is it for me today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Deer Camp 86. Have you seen it? This one kind of flew under the radar for me. I didn't even know it existed, and then I saw it on, I think it was Prime Video. It popped up, and I saw the description say, oh, in Northern Michigan, and I was like, what? That's where I'm from. I gotta check this thing out. I immediately assumed they meant like the UP, Upper Peninsula, but no, it was for trolls just like me. So I had to watch it, and I'm glad that I did. You know, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the best thing I've ever seen. It's kind of landed somewhere smack dab in the middle, hence the 3 pumpkin rating. So let me know what you think about the movie down below. Let me know what you think about the look. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Totally what I wanted. Very leaves changing colors. If you're a makeup lover, get you these Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome shadows. I only have 2. I would love to get the whole line of these Wet n Wild. If you're ever watching my videos, you can send them to me, just saying. These are so fucking beautiful. I used both of them today and I just love them. Let me know what you'd like to see down below. Do you want to see more things like this? It's not really a slasher. I'm branching out. It's a little different, I think, right? I mean, it's more like, it's like a spirit. It's a little bit paranormal. I don't know. Let me know what you'd like to see from me down below, whether it be movie recommendations or makeup recommendations. I can always try doing looks that you guys think up. I'm not really like a character makeup, like I do beauty makeup, clearly. I do beauty makeup, and that's kind of like my niche, but I'm always willing to try something new. I'm always willing to make a fool out of myself. That is it for me today. Make sure that you like this video, share it with your horror or beauty loving friends, and if you do anything, please leave a comment down below. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling, but it is time for me to eat lunch, so I'm gonna skedaddle out of here. I'm gonna pull a Simon and walk off into the woods, never to be seen again. Well, we did see him again, but yeah, this is the sentiment. Anyway, I'm Pale Kale. Thank you for watching Beauty and B Movies with me. Till next time, see you around. That's good stuff. Bye.